Great days and glorious victory! My name is Spifflemonk and welcome to my Let's Play. Today we are going to play a game I am familiar with but only played once. Described on its store page as a colony simulation manager and story generator. It is, however, described as follows by its community. A war crime simulator, a human leather factory simulator, an infestation hive simulator, a generational warfare simulator, a vampire empire simulator, a monkeys versus zombies simulator. That is just to name a few. A very select few. The game starts, and the main menu shows up. Plastered in plain view is the Rimworld logo. This game gave me nightmares. Poor Mia the rat. She was my favourite. Right, well, we are going to start the game with default settings on a default world, with default colonists and see what happens. I have no real plan for the game. Well, no, let's survive 1 year. That's enough. Spiffle starts his game with the standard crash-landed scenario. He hesitates when encountering the storyteller screen, and goes with Cassandra Classics default, with Strive to Survive settings. He starts a world without checking the seed or anything, and just clicks generate. He picks a random start location, an arid shrubland in the far south of the planet, ignoring the warning about acidic fog caused by pollution. He decides to disable the ideology system for his first real playthrough, and just goes to character creation. Right, this is the interesting part. Character selection. Nelson, a vat-grown soldier turned forester, age 67. He is a mason, a green thumb, and an optimist. Nice. Next is 32-year-old Grim, who is a medieval slave turned space marine who is a quick-sleeping, heat-tolerant artisan. Wolford is a 59-year-old wreckage explorer turned gigolo? What is a gigolo? Need to check that. He is a dumb labor-hating beautiful chef. So he's a cook? Nice. Spifflemonk starts the game and skips the introduction dialogue. He pauses the game immediately to check his surroundings and unforbid everything he can see. He notices there is a boom rat named Karina that started as the group's pet. I may have screwed myself already with this. Small ruined structure to the south side. I shall use that as a start base for now. Let's see. Nelson gets the revolver and chestplate. Grim gets the rifle and flak pants. Wolford gets the plasteel knife. Spiffle gets to work assigning spots and checking where to put his beds, using the ruins of a nearby structure to start up his base. He assigns the group to start hacking cacti apart to supply the minuscule amount of wood the map has. Wolford begins to wander aimlessly, and Nelson starts deconstructing and repairing the ruin. Spiffle sets a small growing spot wherever he can and sets it to grow rice. The game quickly comes to its first night. Right, I learned my lesson from the first few times I played this game. Wolford, why are you not helping? Oh, he can't do dumb labour. Or skilled labour. His highest skill is social, so he's a kind idiot. Oh dear. Well, at least the chess table and horseshoe pin is done, so I won't have to worry about that for a while. Oh well. Wolford has a decent skill and intellect. He can be our dedicated researcher, until we can find better things for him to do. Spiffle spends a little while checking work order schedules, and other such things, and starts work on a storage room, and growing spot for cotton. He organises things and lets the game run for a bit. It is only now that Spiffle notices the Exostrider remains near his base, barely a few tiles away. Hello? What's this? Ancient Exostrider midsection. Contains an ancient mechanoid transponder. Attack this to destroy it. I know Rimworld a bit. I don't think that will end very well. I shall leave that alone for a bit. The camera zooms in on Spiffle's face, and he yells very loudly into it. And yes, you're damn right I'm going to save scum, so get over it. The camera returns to normal, as Spiffle defiantly does a hard save of his game that he titled The Scam Save, and smiles at the camera. He then goes on to do the usual thing most Rimworlders do, like building food-producing places, making a basic power system, hurriedly scrounging any components or steel he can find and setting up beds. Luckily, because of the nearby ruins, he already made sure his pawns had a table to eat at. Do humans really go psychotically insane if they have to eat standing up? I have had a lot of things go wrong during my practice sessions for these recordings because of ate without table thing. Is it really that bad? Oh, hello! A visitor with stuff to trade. A visitor from a neutral tribe arrives and allows Spiffle to trade some gear. Spiffle, of course, has nothing of value save his precious survival meals, so he skips the trade and carries on going. Everything seems to be going okay? What? A notification pops up, and a mad cactipine arrives. The creature attacks and takes down Grim, then Wolford, then wanders away down south away from the base. Nelson! Get Wolford and then Grim! Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god! I was not ready for this! Spiffle immediately orders Nelson to rescue Wolford and then Grim. The cactipine follows Nelson and ambushes him at the base door. Spiffle quickly drafts him and starts fighting back. Nelson is hurt but alive and finishes the creature off. Nelson goes to rescue Grim and put him in his bed. Moments later, Grim dies. Grim died? Grim died? You what, mate? True to his word, Spiffle save scums and loads the last autosave, glaring sadistically at the camera. He angrily points his finger at his viewers. You saw nothing! Spiffle failed to notice that some of his resources are still out in the open, and a cactipine is eating his rations. He quickly organises his pawns and makes them haul the remaining items, giving Wolford the helmet left over. During this, Nelson finishes building the house up and tiling the roof. After a bit, Grim, who is busy cutting trees down, wanders close to a structure. An ancient danger? I never saw those before. Is that new? What's in it? Maybe I can... Before Spiffle can respond, a cactipine goes mad and attacks Nelson. This time Spiffle is ready for it, and drafts all colonists to engage. Not this time, you filthy bastard! The fight begins, and Nelson is hurt, badly. Wolfram moves in fast as the cactipine hits Nelson, using his dagger to attack the creature. Wolfram's attack allows Nelson to retreat and head indoors, as Wolfram deals the killing blow to the mad creature. Spiffle hastily creates a hospital bed for Nelson, and sends him to heal. Ha! There we go. Now we can... A notification pops up. A cougar is hunting Grim, who is all the way on the other side of the map. Grim fights valiantly, but ultimately dies and is eaten alive. Oh, go fuck you! Spiffle is glaring at the camera, gritting his teeth, as he loads the last autosave. Again. Try again. Hopefully we'll be doing better than we did the last time. Where was I? Oh, yes. Building. Spiffle loads at the start of day 3. He sets up more growing zones, reorganises his workforce, and replaces his powered stove with a fueled one. He sets up a medical area and lets the pawns work. A mad rat attacks, and Grim doesn't immediately die when Wolfram kills it in one hit. Hehehe. Finally. Peace. Save scum! Spiffle yells loudly, and a new trend in the comments forms from this as a consequence. He saves his game and carries on. A pop-up appears shortly after, stating that Grim now wants to give the faction and community a name. The faction is named the Spiffle Monks, and the base is named Spiffle's Rest. Aside from a cargo pod dropping with a useless weapon, nothing much happens for a bit. Do I have enough food and medicine? I have moved everything I have to storage so far. Maybe I should start building walls. What's this? Meat rotted away and stop... Damn it! I forgot to set up the refrigerator. Do I have enough to... Yes! Spiffle checks to see if he has enough resources, and sets up 2 wind turbines, and puts some cooling units in the storage room to make a freezer. Grim starts cooking the faction's meals, while Nelson starts work on the power conduits and turbines. A notification appears. The first raid starts. Spiffle gathers his pawns together, interrupting their work, and waits for the attack. It never comes. He waits and zooms out to see where the raid is. The raider that appeared failed, because he got eaten by the predators that killed Grim last time. Ha ha ha! Oh, good lord. Can I actually use the local wildlife as a defense system? Can I train these things? I can! A very sinister expression appears on Spiffle's face, and the viewer can actually see the gears turning in his head. His thoughts are interrupted, however, when he sees a cactipine trapped in his storage room, eating his supplies. He drafts Wolford and engages. Wolfram is only slightly hurt, and Grim is made to tend his wounds. Things are going well. Save scum! Spiffle makes a hard save and finishes building, and setting the freezer for his food supply. An event follows, a bunch of spaceship chunks falling from the sky. He calls for them to be dismantled and carries on playing. He sets up his rec room, builds the necessary ghosts to make a prison, just in case, and lets the game run. Every 10 minutes or so, he loudly screams, "Save scum!" and hard saves the game. That will do better to... Spiffle's statement is interrupted by the notification that Nelson has gotten food poisoning from Grim's meals due to the dirty conditions. Oh, come on! It's okay. It's okay. It's just food poisoning. He will be fine. Just get him to rest. Wolford will research batteries in the meantime. Nelson just carries on, albeit very slowly, and continues building up the base. An event hits. It's a slaver from a local faction. Oh, look, it's a slaver. Slavers? This game has slavery? You what? Grim also has food poisoning now, and Nelson collapses, requiring someone to help him. Spiffle notices how heavily armed the caravan is, and decides to send Wolford out to trade. He can't actually afford anything and leaves, noting how his prison isn't complete yet anyway, so he can't recruit any slaves he buys. He visibly feels sick as he notices there are 2 slaves that are 8 years old, available for purchase. He looks dead into the camera with that all too familiar, "How dare you?" stare, and keeps playing. Seems quiet. Maybe I should... No, I can't. They are too big. Need to... Oh, hello. A quest? The Solitary Dame. A nobleman from the Exodus Imperium has called for aid. He has been hunted by a... man-hunting swarmling? Okay then, I shall help. Accept quest for Wolford. Oh, Wolford is abrasive. He will cause problems. Okay then, Grim will take the title. Wolford, to arms. Wolford can't respond as the rescue target arrives. The swarmling spawns shortly after and is killed by the slaver caravan. During this, Nelson and Grim go into starvation stage due to food poisoning, and Nelson is now nearing a major break risk as he can't eat anything. The quest, however, is complete, and Grim can become a yeoman for the faction, as the rescued pawn gets into a shuttle. Well, it could be worse, I suppose. Oh, what now? Everyone now has food poisoning, and is in a terrible mood. Everyone is in too much pain to work, and begins to wander aimlessly. An ambrosia sprout appears, which is ultimately ignored. A storm arrives and sets fire to the kitchen. It is very quickly extinguished, and although the low food warning is there, the first harvest of rice gives Grim everything he needs to start refilling the food supply. A nearby ruin is deconstructed for steel, and Spiffle only occasionally says something as he works. Grim gets food poisoning again, and Spiffle groans in response. He deals with it, making Grim rest a bit. Wolford gets food poisoning quickly after, followed again by Nelson. One of the wind turbines breaks down and nobody is able to repair it. Nelson is killed by a predator while hunting for resources. The same predator goes mad and attacks the colony, killing Karina the boom rat. Karina! No, no, no! Everything's on fire! The explosion from Karina sets the colony on fire, causing Wolfwood to get downed. Moments later, Wolfwood dies. Grim tries desperately to gather some resources and gets caught in the colony as it burns. Oh, god damn it, stop, Grim, get out of the... Oh, gods! Spiffle cradles his head in his hands as Grim is down from the fire. A man in black named You appears. What? What is this? A man in black? What is that supposed to be? Oh, for fuck's sake! The man in black is unable to do anything, as he is immediately attacked by a hungry predator. Due to blood loss, You can't do anything and collapses. Spiffle cradles his head in his hands with sheer despair, as the last 4 hours of work amount to nothing, as he watches You slowly bleed to death. A pop-up appears. Everyone is dead or gone. The story is over. Perhaps someone else will find a use for the ruins of this place. Spiffle lets out an almighty scream of anger, as the screen cuts to his outro. Top comment. Yeah, I know how that feels. This entirely sums up the first 10 colonies I made. Save scum, my brother. Save scum! Great days and glorious victory. My name is Spiffle Monk and welcome back to Rimworld. Last time I did... not go well. It went horribly. It went badly. Everybody died. Yeah. Let's try again. This time let's be a bit more... selective. Spiffle goes through the motions, choosing Phoebe Chillax with Community Builder difficulty, a random sea for the world with no changes to factions, and choosing a mountainous cliffside as his home, in a reasonably warm temperate tile. Once again, no ideology system, and he comes to the colonist screen looking around a bit. He has to re-roll the colonist several times before he gets something he finds decent. Okay, here we go. Katsumi, a 32-year-old herb-world urchin turned housemate, who is a cold-tolerant backpacking hauler who likes to plant and cook. Oh yes. Next we have Albert, who is a medieval slave turned psychiatric patient, and he is a coordinated night owl scientist with a passion for construction and mining. Strange. Finally, we have 18-year-old Chili, who is a pessimistic but composed gunslinger. Ooh, I actually got a decent lineup this time. The scenario starts and the pods land, depositing their contents. Katsumi has an extra weapon, a personal possession that is a Sky Steel Gladius. Katsumi gets the bolt action, Chili gets the revolver, and Albert gets the Gladius and most of the armor. The pet the colony brought with them is a creature known as a horse, named Goldie. Spiffle sets up a simple small house with a small hauling spot, putting 3 sleeping spots where they need to be, and getting the work schedule set up. Before anything happens, after he has all the legwork done, he screams, "Save scum!" and hard saves the game. There we go. Now to just let it work. This time I actually have the wood supply to build a floor. I shall make a separate crafting room this time and other such things that will hopefully keep everyone reasonably happy. I shall also construct a pen for the horse. Horses need that, apparently. Spiffle spent the next half hour or so going through the motions of building his base. He builds everything he needs, including a rice paddy, and just watches the colony build itself up for a bit. Kazumi receives a taming inspiration, but there isn't anything she's skilled enough to tame or handle, so Spiffle just ignores it. The base is built relatively quickly, and with an abundance of food. Spiffle looks visibly calm and collected for once. "Save scum!" he suddenly screams out, giving the game a hard save as the building of all structures is completed. There. Much better. A visitor arrives, and Spiffle gets rid of some spare clothes by selling them. The rich soil allows the colony to get its first harvest a lot earlier than expected, and the first incident, a mad turkey, occurs shortly after. Albert gets hurt a bit, but beyond that, nothing really happens. Well, that was exciting. I wonder if I can build a fortress inside the mountain. That might be a goal here. Yeah, let's do that. Spiffle sets a nearby steel deposit to be mined out, and gets some blueprints going for power and stuff. The pop-up for the colony and faction name appears. He names the colony Restville, and gives the faction the name Spiffle Tribe, and starts making plans for the near future. As he accepts the name, an ambrosia sprout appears, making a note of it for later, as Spiffle starts working on the freezer. Ah, there we go. Let's see what happens now. Hopefully they will get the tree line sorted quickly before... A raid appears. One person, an unarmed tribal. Spiffle immediately drafts everyone and sends them to engage. Alright then, let's go. Chili, you take the front to hit him close. Everyone else, you lot shoot at him. Don't shoot Chili. The fight starts. Chili goes up close and gets hurt, but the other two fire precise shots that put the raider down before he can do any damage. The damage is superficial. Chili captures the newcomer, and the colony gets to work repairing the damage. The newcomer is named Fedosia Garrett and is heavily addicted to multiple substances, has a destroyed kidney, and is a demon pig. A human demon pig. This is the first time Spiffle notices the Biotech DLC is installed. What in the fuck is this creature? The bio says human, but that's not what humans look like. What is a xenotype? Bat nose, bat ears, pig nose, fur skin, hidebound wings? What is this? Genetic type. Wait a minute. Does this game have genetic mutation mechanics? Spiffle looks around, alt-tabbing the game, as he takes a look at the description for Rimworld's Biotech DLC. He only just notices that he has it installed. Spiffle ultimately decides to allow his prisoner to leave the colony peacefully. Well, that would definitely be something interesting to have around, but she's a rubbish colonist with all those addictions and a gone liver. I'll have to let her go then. Spiffle waits a bit until the prisoner is healed up, then lets her go. Spiffle can't do anything, however, because of her life-threatening royal jelly addiction, and can't do much to help. A caravan arrives and Albert trades the horse for 2 goats. He now notices colonists have not much to do, and starts work on the mountain base. Well, it looks like there's not much to do for now. This playthrough is strange, it seems. So calm. Well, we have a quest for the Fallen Empire, so let's get going. Let's do that. The Dane arrives and the attacker is an aero fleet. Chili engages, but it isn't much of a fight. Chili is however injured badly because aero fleets explode when killed, resulting in Chili suffering multiple burn injuries. Well, apparently those explode. Well, back to the hospital, Chili. Let's get you healed up. Nothing much happens for a short while until a quest appears. A psychic drone quest with a colonist joining. What be this? Give refuge and redirect a mechanoid psychic drone to receive a new colonist. 7-year-old child? Oh, you're damn right I'm accepting this quest. Spiffle hard saves, screaming, "Save scum!" before accepting the quest with haste. He looks at the newcomer, and a psychic drone starts, hurting all his male colonists, leaving Katsumi the only one relatively untouched. The new colonist is O'Neill, a soppy diplomat with a chemical fascination and extremely low skills but a good future as a crafter. Spiffle assigns him his tasks and lets the child wander a bit, after getting a bedroom for him set up. The psychic drone is starting to get to the colonists already, and Spiffle makes an effort to secure some better rec room and dining room facilities, as well as building some batteries. Wait a minute. O'Neill, what are you... Oh, that's so cute. The children make chalk scribbles on the floor when they're bored. Do all human children do that? That's adorable. Okay, I get it. I'll make you all a proper bedroom and rec room shortly. Spiffle stares for a bit at the cute sight of a child scribbling on the ground, then goes to build proper housing facilities for his colonists, plus a proper rec room. Due to the temperate conditions, wood and steel are abundant, so he gets to work building things. Nothing much happens, interspersed only with occasional shouts from Spiffle of "Save scum!" and a hard save. So calm. Why does this feel wrong? Garrett breaks out from prison during this period, but his attempted escape via berserk rage is short-lived, as Chili takes off one of his toes. Chili suffers bites and bruises, and while being tended to, Garrett dies from blood loss. Oh, shit. Well, time for a grave then. I probably should put up a proper burial ground or something. At least give everyone some dignity. Chili healed quickly, and a gravesite was built the following day. Construction on the rec room starts, and a small forest is cut down to supply the materials. What is that? In the pen. There. It is tiny! Ha! It's a baby goat. So does this game have full breeding mechanics? Oh, I love that. Little known fact, I used to actually work at a farm that bred Malcatrice beasts. They're sort of like hedgehogs, but not spiny and full of very, very tasty, milk, I think is the human equivalent. It's used to make a sort of chocolate substance and makes an absolutely scrumptious sauce for meat. Spiffle sets up some research to go and plans ahead. An event comes along. A child named Polly is dropped in a pod and needs rescue. Spiffle, of course, obliges, and immediately rescues the creature. It's similar to the previous prisoner in terms of genome, and O'Neill is sent to rescue her. A new guest arrives, asking for the killing of a man-hunting pack of guinea pigs, and is finished in relatively quick fashion. Katsuni acquires a new title from the Fallen Empire, and simply carries on without noticing. This is going well. Too well. A giant spider of some kind has made its way into the goat pen. Spiffle squeals loudly at an abnormally high volume upon seeing the gigantic 8-legged insect. Get it out! Get it out! Kill it! Kill it! Kill it! Save scum! Spiffle does a fast hard save and engages the spider with Albert and Katsumi. They are unable to kill the spider fast enough to stop it from killing the baby goat, and severely injuring the male goat. Spiffle watches with a tear in his eye, as O'Neill carts the baby goat's corpse away and starts covering it up for meat and fur at the butcher's table. Ah, no! Damn it! Should have noticed earlier. Wait, is that a raid? I didn't notice him. To arms! Spiffle calls the colony to a military stance, as a one-person raid shows up. The fight begins, but Spiffle fails to consider his proper combat stances. As a consequence, Chili and Albert get injured in the fight. The raider is captured. Blast it! I need to be more careful. Maybe I can set up proper defenses. Sandbags, maybe? Spiffle Monk thinks for a bit and carries on. He plays for maybe another hour before finally stopping, going back to the main menu. You know what? This is too peaceful. I'm getting too much done too fast. I wonder if maybe, just maybe, I can try something. Peace. Channel outro plays. Top comment. Uh-oh, I know that look. That's when a Rim decides he's not having fun anymore, and decides it's time to make his brain have an aneurysm. Don't do it, dude. Don't do it! Great days and glorious victory. My name is Spiffle Monk, and welcome back to Rimworld. Now, friends, you may notice from this screen here, I have done some modding. Spiffle shows the world generation screen, showing a dozen new factions and one of Rimworld's most notorious storytellers, Winston Waves. Spiffle selects Winston, clicks on Strive to Survive difficulty, chooses a random location, in this case a temperate forest on the southwest. He smiles somewhat strangely, as he starts the game with the 3 random colonists the game gives by default. The game starts, standard crash landing survival, and the storyteller is set to invade at max strength every 5 days. Yes, let the war begin. Okay, let's see what we have to work with while everyone's working. Green, a 69-year-old mason, Maya, a 49-year-old nurse, and finally Pansy, a 29-year-old prison guard. Let's just build up and get started, then we'll focus on everything else. Green goes into a dazed wonder. Spiffle checks and notices she will be a problem. The poor dear has Alzheimer's. What might that be? Let me quickly look that up. Spiffle looks up what it is, and that all too familiar glare in his eyes stares straight into the screen. Fuck me. That poor woman. Spiffle continues trying to play the game with this information in mind. A visitor arrives, but Spiffle mostly ignores it, and waits for the building to be built. He sets up growing zones and defensive walls. He names the faction Hell's Pawns, and the settlement Slaughterhouse. By the time everything is settled in and ready, he's 17 hours from the first raid. Oh, here we go. Now, viewers, don't think I'm going blind. It's why I haven't uploaded in a while. It's because I had to do some general playthroughs to get the... what's the human phrase? Vibe? Yeah, vibe. Until I got the vibe right. Now, the objective here is to survive 10 waves. Or as many waves as possible. The first raider arrives and fails his attack. He is quickly captured and put in prison. Spiffle's raid reward is 30 medicine. Green chooses this moment to go into a daze due to her condition. Predictably, this comes in handy far too quickly, as Green's daze leads her into a giant spider's nest. She goes down before anyone can respond. Spiffle can't help himself, despite his apparent questionable demeanour. He still lets out a terrified squeal of horror at the sight of a big spider. God, I hate those things! Blasted 8-legged freaks! Right, some severe casualties. I will make a note to get more medicine after the next raid. Which is in 2 hours? How long did I set this shit up for? The next raid arrives. 3 people. 2 melee, 1 with a rifle. Barely managing to get the crew together, Spiffle manages to barely get away, with no further damage to his already injured pawns, and captures a prisoner as a result. Okay, that was close. The next raid begins in earnest a bit later, after everyone gets healed up. Pansy charges forward on a 3-man raid towards new enemies. Imps. Spiffle only notices this when Pansy is set on fire as he gets too close. What? How do they set him on fire? What the hell are these imps? They breathe fire? My base is made of oh, shit! The imps disable Green, who is apparently useless and fails to fight back. The imps kidnap both Pansy and Green, leaving Farley to survive alone. The first prisoner goes berserk, escaping his confines and bashes Green's head in. The colony now catches fire, and Spiffle just looks at the camera, sad and despondent as the scene plays out. Green dies. A man in black fails to arrive, and the colony is incinerated by the fire. How do you people consider this fun? The camera zooms in on Spiffle's face. How? Is there something strange in human psychology that makes it fun for you to torture yourselves? I have just spent the better part of the last 7 human days witnessing unimaginable suffering. From a dementia patient being set on fire and kidnapped, to giant fucking spiders eating a small child alive. I have watched hours of work be burned down and people I have come to appreciate, pixels or not, be butchered like beasts. How do you fucking madmen find this fun? Why is this game overwhelmingly positive? Channel outro plays, with Spiffle's camera still visible, as he puts his head in his hands and sobs to himself. Top comment. Well, I don't know. It's a human thing. It's just fun.